this is part 2 of an update on I think it's day 2 of weaning my breastfeeding toddler, so if you haven't already, go back and watch part 1. Well, I say part 1, it's just a video before this one. There are many parts to this little series, so yeah, so today she didn't nap. After about an hour and a half, I really needed the bathroom, so I got up and used the bathroom, and that was the end of it anyway. That was the end of the attempt. But we also had a birthday party to get to, and I was like, it's okay, it's like a 15-20 minute drive away, so I was like, she'll probably have like a little power nap in the car, and maybe the same again on the way home a couple of hours later, and that should get us through until bedtime. But she did not. She did not nap at all. So, I wasn't all too, upset about it. It is difficult when she doesn't have an afternoon nap or she has a really short one, because that's like my time to just recalibrate my brain after, the morning and the early afternoon spent living, lifing. But yeah, we had this birthday party to go to anyway, so I was like, it's fine, she's going to be there, there's going to be kids to play with, and she can burn off all this energy. The most difficult thing about when she doesn't nap is all the energy. Well, she doesn't have energy, but she just gets the zoomies, and gets super duper hyperactive. I was like, we can be somewhere else, and she can do that around other children rather than, me have to be the subject of all of it. So that's what we did. Came back. Thought I had to wake up. I think we're good. Came back, had a little bit to eat, had a bath, and the friend whose son's party it was, she's just recently stopped breastfeeding her son as well, so we were just chatting to her about her experience, and she was talking about how she was away for a little bit, and then it was just them two for a little bit, and it just kind of like, I was just thinking on the drive home, like, maybe it doesn't make all that much sense to be trying to get her to go to bed without feeding, like in preparation for her 2 nights at her grandma's this weekend. Maybe it makes more sense to really kind of implement that after she gets back from 2 nights away. So I'm still I'm trying to keep her feeds to just sleep times, and when she wakes up from her sleeps, not offer it to her. It's kind of like our routine when she wakes up from sleeping, that we just kind of like sit and reconnect, and she comes back around for maybe like 20 minutes, just while feeding. And I also really enjoy those. They're the ones that I wanted to keep over, the feeding to sleep, but just trying to get her to sleep without is just been really, really difficult. And I know it's only been 1 day really trying to do it, and it probably seems quite defeatist, and I know that the first day or 2 or a few days is always going to be the hardest, but it just seems like way more energy than it's worth at this point, especially considering that she's going to be spending 2 nights away in a couple of days' time. So yeah, I think I've reconsidered that, and I'm gonna feed her to sleep. Oh well, I have just been like, so tonight when I just put her down to bed maybe like an hour and a half ago. I knew she was exhausted anyway. I got her to bed still later than I wanted to, or than I should have, because she was just running around and I was on a go slow. So yeah, I fed her, we laid down, and I fed her, both laid on our sides on her bed as we usually do, but I still Did a few minutes each side, you know, just until she finished drinking and was just dry feeding. And when I took my boob out of her mouth after the second side, she did complain, just for probably about a minute, and tried pulling at my top to, you know, have some more and doing a sound. But she was so wiped out, she didn't she didn't have the energy to put up a proper fight, and she rolled over, and I just, you know, continued to soothe her, you know, like rubbing her belly, stroking her face, and yeah, just comforting her in whatever way. And she dropped off within like less than 10 minutes, so a little bit easier this time. So yeah, over the next couple of days, I probably won't need to do another update until after she's spent the 2 nights at her grandma's. So if you are watching in real time, then, you know, talk to you then. Or if anything does spring to mind then that I want to share, then I will do. But yeah, in this time, up until when she goes on Friday, I'm just going to be keeping her feeds to when she's going for a nap and when she's going to sleep. And the rest of the time, just if she's asking, I'm going to try my best to divert her and offer her something else. And yeah, that's about it. Peace.